Clicked on it.
Okay.
Okay. So good morning and welcome to the third session. And so what I thought today is that I'll share some of the content that we use in our workshops with the kids. You'll get an idea of the narrative that we use there. Obviously, the things that you'll see here ties down the things that we have been talking about in the last 2 weeks, right? And we will also do some of the exercises following, like as a part of the overall narrative, right? So so let's get started. You know, an average person turns on their phone more than 50 times a day, right? And I think nobody's surprised about it. Actually, I thought probably this number was much more than this, but once in 15 minutes, an average person turns to their phones. And this number is much higher for the kids. And an average person's attention span is now just 8 seconds, like almost the same of a squirrel, I think. And these are all official research that you can actually Google. So this is from Microsoft. So it is only in 8 seconds, we can just keep our attention in one thing and then it moves to something else. 8 seconds. That number is really, really alarming. So what we'll do is that just to make it real, obviously this lot of this, or most of us relate to this. I'll play a video. This does not have, just tell me whether it's, so I'm sure that most, if not all of you could relate to that, right? Just to put a use case around the problem, right? And then we have a different versions and flavors of this use case of getting distracted. And the basic point, if you talk about in terms of scientific study, our brain's cognitive capacity is 126 bits per second. And I think a lot of us are, if not all of here have engineering background. So 126 bits per second is our cognitive capacity in terms of being able to process information. And it takes 60 bits to listen to one person. So you would have seen that we can, if we really try to, with focused attention, we can follow conversations with 2 people. But it is impossible to follow a conversation with 3 people talking at the same time. So just a practical experience. And this fact is from a book called Flow from Mihail Csikszentmihalyi. I'll show you the reference at the end. I really recommend people to read that book, right? That actually goes into much more details about it. But the basic point here is this. We have 126 bits per second capacity. And if that capacity is used by our thoughts, our distracting thoughts, right? And the thoughts can take much more than 60 bits actually, because it can go into stories and other stuff. So essentially you are using up that, your attention span. So this is the real numbers behind when we say that you get distracted, and because of getting distracted, you can do less of good thinking that we talked about earlier, right? So you have default mode network and task positive network. So good thinking is focused attention. So you can obviously if you're taking some of your cognitive capacity and focusing on on the chatter, then it reduces the ability, the amount of bandwidth that you are allocating for focused thinking. So just put some numbers around what we have been talking. So we'll start off with, let's do a couple of things. So we know how the belly breathing. Let's start a little bit of belly breathing. So sit quietly. And close your eyes, take a deep breath. And when you breathe in, your belly should go out. And when you breathe out, your belly should go in. Breathe in, breathe out. And now we will sit quietly for a minute, and I want all of us to just pay attention to our thoughts, specifically around the structure of thoughts. Not the content, but whether you can see a picture, the picture flashing, and then you going to another thought, which is another picture. Is there a mental sound, mental talk associated with that? Is there a sensation or a feeling that comes and goes? So let's just do that for 1 minute. Okay. So let me share. I'll just open it up, just to get some feedback from you all. So for me, what I could see, I could see two things. I saw some tomatoes and a tired type of feeling, tomatoes and tired feeling. I know why it is, because Anisha will make me. We have plans to go and get some kitchen gardens and do something in the afternoon, right? So that probably is the reason. And I also see barbecue, and then some good feeling, right? So that is also we are planning. So that actually shows that I'm looking forward to the barbecue, but not planting the tomatoes, right? So that was something that so I'll be curious to hear what if somebody can share, like what they could see, like the structure of thoughts. If you can unmute yourself and just share, that would be really good.
I thought of coffee.
you were talking about it, right? So
yeah, so for me, most of the thoughts is about what I spoke or what I need to share with people, and I don't know why. It's never an image. It's always a story of what I need to tell people or what I already shared with people. That's how my brain functions.
So when you say coffee, Purnima, so did you hear the word coffee, or you saw a
No,
cup of coffee?
I heard what I told you people
So
about
that the whole
coffee.
word, the talk, the coffee.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Was there a feeling associated? Could you see that
No,
apprehension,
no,
good feeling?
no feeling. Or maybe I'm very bad at observing feelings, but no feeling. Whatever I told you guys played in my head.
Okay, oh, got it. So if you actually are basically pay close attention, right? Sometimes these are very subtle sensations, right? You will be able to catch, at least to the level that it was a good. You're feeling good with this thought, or you feeling bad with this, thinking this thought, right?
I think neutral, because I didn't feel too good, not bad. If it was bad, I'll certainly be able to recognize faster.
Got it. Good. Anyone else who wants to share what they saw? Anybody saw in image?
Actually, I saw the image, like, as soon as I sit for like meditating, the first image that comes to my mind is like my, the god, like, which I focus on, like, the feet, basically, like the padukas. So that first thing comes to always when I sit, like, first thing. And then from there it went to like cooking, kind of, because next is my, after this session I have to start cooking, and so that was the image that the first thing strike to my mind, and then Vijay's image. because we were discussing something, so I was like, we were in the middle of discussion.
And so image means when you say you saw a picture of a kitchen, maybe you're cooking, a picture of that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, okay, got it.
exactly.
Yeah, so these are the two key, so to say, mechanisms. Like it will be like a picture, or it will be like a mental sound, right? And it's a very interesting thing I wanted to share, which actually when I found it, I found it alarming in a way. That alarming is in a good way, but that I didn't know about it because I keep on experimenting. So and we have this as an exercise in Unbox also. So you try to recall a video. So you see a video, right? Any video that you like in like high definition, like maybe a dance video of a Bollywood movie, and then you'll watch it for like 10-15 seconds and close your eyes and try to recall the video, right? What I found out that our recall is not in a continuous mode. It actually comes in always in pictures. So when you try to recall a segment, you'll see almost like a sequence of pictures from the same video. Right? You can do it later today, right? But it is amazing. So our ability to recall is almost like clips of pictures, even from something that is as obvious as a continuous movie that we see, right? So there are missing information, right? So it is very interesting. And so if it is, even if a movie that I see, I try to recall, you'll see different clips of it, right? And my brain thinks that I am recalling the entire sequence, but it is not. You recall a picture, like a one movement, and then 2 seconds later the other movement, and then what happened 5 seconds later, that type of stuff. Anyways,
if your brain thinks you're recalling the whole thing, how do you know that you didn't recall the whole thing and it was just pieces of only pictures?
I'm saying that just be focused and attentive about what is coming to your brain, right? So you'll see, if you see that, so I just saw a dance, and now I'm going to try to recall the entire dance, and I'll full focus on what are the images that are coming into my brain, right? Then I saw that, you know what, that image is not a continuous sequence of the dance that I saw. It was just a fast, like a series of pictures, still pictures that actually come to my brain, right? So it is very interesting. So the reason behind this is that we have to be attentive. So we are trying to get lower our distraction. We know it is because of mental chatter. So can we be like intensely aware of what thoughts are, right? Because unless and until we know what thoughts are, trying to detach from them may not be that effective, right? So we have been trying to do it through these exercises actually, right? So trying to figure out the structure of thoughts, the mechanism of thoughts, what is attention. We talked about what is attention. You remember, in fact, let's do it right now. Again, put your hands in front of you, right? And what we'll do is that we'll take our hands behind to line up with our ears, to the extent where we can see both. In our peripheral vision, we can still see the hands, right? And then you put attention to the top of your head and bottom of your toes at the same time. So both the hands, peripheral vision, head and toe. So that awareness that you're feeling, that is a very expanded attention, right? And you take your hands in front of you again and just look at your fingers on the back. Look at them intently. Did you observe a change in the quality of attention, right? So that is the range of attention. So this is focused attention. This is expanded attention. So you should be able to experientially feel that dynamics in that attention. Attention is not always the same, right? So knowing what attention is, knowing what thoughts are, then we go into the dynamics of how attention interacts with thoughts. So we talked about it. This is the images I said, right? So thoughts will be like a emoticon, but it has an image or a mental talk, and it has a feeling. The feeling is basically the brain releases neuropeptides in our bloodstream, and that neuropeptides causes emotions, and those neuropeptides are triggered by thoughts. So sensations, now let's talk about what is the role of sensations and feelings, right? So this another image, another video that we're going to play. It has a little bit of a glitchy effect, but I think you'll get the gist of it.
Did they hear the audio last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you can tell, Tom is fuming. He's in rage. He doesn't think his mom is being fair at all. And most likely, he will yell back at her and make matters worse. But if he knew a little bit of mindfulness, he would notice his breath is short, his ears are turning red, his face is flushing, his chest is buzzing. And just by observing these sensations, a lot of them will dissolve and things will calm down. When you know how to respond instead of reacting, overcome by your emotions, things end up a lot better.
So, Anisha, can you take us through a quick exercise of watching sensations so that we can make this real?
Sure, we can do that. So, so let's start with closing our eyes gently and just relaxing our jaws and our shoulders a little bit and making sure our spine is erect but not tense. And then bring your attention to the top of your head. Like think of a little circle on the top of the head. So try to bring all your attention to the top of your head. And when you are trying to bring your attention, you're focusing it so you can try to sense any sensations there. So any pulsating feeling, any tingling, any pain, any throbbing. In this whole exercise that we are doing, try to see in different areas what kind of sensations you have. So bring your attention to the top of the head. Now scan your head and the back of the head as well, slowly. Is there anything you feel there? Any pain? Any throbbing? Now you can bring your attention to your face. So start with your forehead. Scan your forehead. Eyes, cheeks, chin, nose. Slowly just go over the areas I mentioned. Again, try to look for the sensations, any tingling, heat, coldness, anything. Now bring your attention to the neck area. Go all around the neck. Then bring it to the shoulders. See if there's any tightness. Now let's take our attention down one arm. So let's go over the left arm. So bring it down to your forearms, and then each finger. Just go over each finger and the palm. Now bring it up to the shoulder again. Now let's go down the right arm. Again, the upper arm, lower arm, your hand, your palm, and each finger. Bring it up the arm. Now go up over your torso area. So let's start with the chest. Scan your chest, spend some time there. Try to see if you're feeling any emotion, any tingling, maybe near the heart area. Any throbbing. Now let us take it down the abdomen area. Can try to see how your gut is feeling. Is it tight? Is it relaxed? Check the pelvic area, quickly scan that too. Now let's take our attention down the left leg. So go over the left thigh, the left leg, and the foot, the heels, and each of the toes. Then bring it up. Keep scanning the area you might have left out and bring it up to the pelvic area again. Now we will go down the right foot. So the thighs, the legs, heel, each one of the toes. And you can slowly trace it back up to the pelvic area again. Now we can go up the back. So back is a pretty large area. So let's cover the lower back first. Please scan your lower back. Again, look for any tension, any tightness, pain, throbbing, tingling. Now let's move to the upper back, including your back of the shoulders. You can spend a little more time around the spine because you might be able to feel some tingling sensations. Just to get an idea. Now let's trace our attention back up the neck to the head, and then the top of the head where you started. Gently, you can open your eyes. So this is called looking for sensations or trying to be more aware of your sensations. It's a body scan. And you know, the way we did one round, you can sit down for 10, 15 minutes and keep repeating this very slowly. And you will build your capacity to sense better. Your sensations, you know, will be able to feel them better. And as Prithvi said, you know, as you can find your sensations when they are really starting up, then you can control your emotions based on that. You know what's going on and you watch the sensations, they dissolve, and hence you don't get way too blown up, emotional or mad or angry or fearful. Prithvi, we can't hear you yet. If you're
Okay, that helps. So I think that is the key. That so if you see, right, so what we are doing here is trying to build our muscles or attention muscles to do two things. One thing is that the default mode network, the chatter, being aware of the chatter, and then again we'll repeat exercise that helps us to do that. We'll do that in a bit, which is known as meditation normally. And we are also building a parallel skill of to observe our sensations. So the thoughts that create the sensations and the pattern of sensations as emotions. So we can be aware of those emotions before, even after they blow up, right? So we can catch it at the sensation level and diffuse them. So we are building these two skills, a parallel track. So so we did what is attention. We explored what is nature of thought, and now the second thing is that how does my attention interacts with thoughts. Right, and we have been talking about it. There are two distinct ways that we think. One is the focused attention, where we go from one thought to other thought to other thought and come to a destination. Right, so this is almost like a problem solving mathematics. We're trying to create a project plan on things like that. So in neuroscience, the task positive network, or the TPN, is attributed to this type of focused thinking. And then there is another way of thinking, which is the default mode network, right? Which is thinking about the past and the future, random thoughts coming in. We have no control of these thoughts. They actually get served to us, to our attention. And actually that actually takes us from one thought to other thought and make our attention dizzy. I say that we get a dizzy attention because of this. Right? And what happens here is that if we think about the dynamics, because while we are trying to do focused attention, that is on the right, where we wanted to go from one structured thought to other thought to other thought to solve a problem, and suddenly if we're distracting what we call it Q thought, the default mode network thought takes our attention, it actually can take us to a totally different track. So we may actually end up solving a problem that doesn't need to be solved at that particular point of time. So a combination, a dynamics between TPN and TMN, right? It actually, and if it is not under control, can actually make us work not only less efficient, but actually solve the wrong problems. Right. So now what we want to do is that the trick that can help us not to get distracted, and we talked about that trick. I'll just do a quick recap of that trick. before and request Anisha to play let's play the 12 minutes video.
30 minutes. Purnima, can you please play the...
Yeah, so before we do that, let me just again do a quick recap of what.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we talked about default mode network, which is DMN. For the kids, we say it is like demon. Actually, it is not demon. It is. it may be good memories also, but we say these are the naughty guys, right? To keep on serving and they keep on coming, right? And this is my attention, right? And the monkey attention, and our attention actually loves to grab onto these thoughts. As soon as I see something, it will just quickly grab onto that, and then a new one will be served and it will grab onto that. So it keeps going over and over again, multiple thoughts. So now, in order for this demon to get taught to letting go of, so what would ideally be that the demon should be able to see this, and then by will should be able to let go, right? And I think one of the examples that Purnima you said, right? So we can have different mechanisms of doing it, right? For the coffee thing, right? The craving came, you were able to let go the craving, right? So that particular thought came, you could let go, right? So how can we make it more and more adapt in terms of letting go of these? So what we do is that we create our exercise where we put an anchor, right? And ask our attention to grab onto the anchor. So when the attention is grabbing to the anchor, obviously it is not grabbing onto this, but sooner or later it will get distracted. It will go back to these thoughts, but again we'll ask it to grab this anchor. And we do that again and again, over and over again, 20 minutes at a time, 2 times a day. And then after 2 or 3 months, you'll find out that you can actually have your attention not getting distracted. A, not getting distracted by this default mode network thoughts. B, if at all it is distracted, it can let it go quickly and come back. Right. So that is what we are learning here. So we will play let's do the 13 minutes. I think we'll leave some time at the end for question answers. So let's do the 13-minute version of breath as an anchor.
The MindGym guided meditation. Let us start with first exploring what exactly are we trying to do before starting on the details about the meditation technique. We will try to build up the capacity to let go of thoughts by continuously bringing our attention back on an anchor. As the attention favors the anchor, it automatically practices letting go from distracting thoughts. There are many kinds of anchors that can be used in this technique. In MindGym, we will use breath as an anchor. Breath is the simplest and most used anchor, also taught by the Buddha. Breath is always with us. It's real, and bringing our attention to it brings us to the present moment. Let us perform a couple-minute prep before starting. You can sit cross-legged on a mat, or you can sit on a chair. Be aware of your bottoms before you start and balance your weight evenly. Try to keep your back as straight as possible, but not tense. Gently close your eyes. Before you start, think about an image that triggers a natural outpouring of love. Image of pets or kids when they were little is usually very effective. Think of a time when you were a small kid and you were taken care of. Try to experience the feeling of, I'm taken care of, and hence nothing to worry about. relax and let go of the tension in the jaw, in the shoulders, and any other place in the body that feels tight. Now we will go into belly breathing, which increases our capacity of not getting distracted by thoughts. With longer practice, it may also reduce the number of thoughts generated in our mind. The technique is quite simple. Make sure your belly goes up when you breathe in, and it goes in when you breathe out. This is different from chest breathing, where the chest goes out and the belly goes in when we breathe in, and the chest goes in and belly out when we breathe out. Focus on the belly as you breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, belly out. Breathe out, belly in. Do it a few times. Put your attention on the sensations in your back, specifically around your spine. Move the attention from the bottom of the spine to your neck and back down. Now, synchronize this up and down movement with belly breathing. Move the attention up slowly as you breathe in, and move it down along the back as you breathe out. This will help further quiet our active mind. Let us repeat this a few times. Attention up your spine slowly as you breathe in, and move it down along the back as you breathe out. Now that your mind has calmed down and the attention is starting to get focused, we will move into the meditation. Bring your attention to the breath. You don't need to breathe differently, just the normal belly breath. Watch when it enters the nostrils and comes out. Observe the warmth or the coldness. Watch the gap between the in and the out breath closely. Observe the sensations it creates below the nostrils and above the upper lip. We we are using breath as an anchor in this technique. If your attention wanders into other thoughts, get it back to the breath whenever you become aware of the fact that you have wandered. We are trying to gently favor the breath. We don't want to judge ourselves or the thoughts that distracted us. We want to stay equanimous. If your attention does not wander, continue to watch the breath and the sensations it creates with more awareness. You may zone out or move into the gap between the breath and thoughts sometime during the practice. As soon as you realize you're in a zone, bring the attention back to the anchor. Keep your awareness on your breath. Be aware of your breath. Watch the warm breath in and out, and the sensations it creates above the upper lip. Be aware of your breath. If your attention wanders into other thoughts, get it back to the breath whenever you realize. No need to judge the thoughts or the drifting away. We are practicing letting go of thoughts and coming back to the anchor. Continue to watch. Stay with the breath. Keep the awareness of your breath. Watch the warm breath in and out, and the sensation it creates above the upper lip. Keep your awareness. Continue to watch. Stay with the breath.
Give it a few seconds, about 30 seconds. You can slowly open your eyes whenever you're ready. Okay, so we have about 8 more minutes left. So we're happy to take any questions. Is everyone feeling relaxed? Okay.
Yes.
Need to relax to for questions, I guess.
Hi, I have a question if anybody else doesn't have any question.
Yes.
So this distraction and this like chatters in the mind happens to me a lot. And so anytime that this happens, I need to breathe in and breathe out like for a couple of minutes. Do you think that's helpful?
So I think there'll be there are two mechanisms of that, Nazreen, right? So what we are saying here is that just the way that we go to gym, and if you have to lift heavy weights, so we go to gym and actually do some exercises that actually over time increases our capacity to lift uh, more and more weights, right? So
Right.
similar to that, if we do this this guided meditation that we had, right? If we do this twice a day, right, and then you'll see over time your capacity to not getting entangled with mental chatter will increase, right? So the idea is to do these exercises so that you can apply it outside the meditation exercise time in your real life. So exactly the way that you said, that when you notice that you have a lot of chatter, your capacity to let go of the chatter will increase over time, right? You don't have to do anything special at that particular point of time. Just because you did the exercise, you'll be able to let it go. But sometimes what happens is that even outside life, like sometimes they are very intense thoughts and patterns that come out. If that comes, then you can use the anchor mechanisms even there, right? So get your focus to your breathing, right? So that way your attention won't be associated with the chatter. So keep on getting it up to the breathing. But what we recommend is that if you do twice a day for about 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, that ability will come naturally to you.
Wow, that's great. Thank you very much.
Prithvi, I've been doing meditating maybe twice of late, but doing a lot of kriya and stuff since January. But even then, it doesn't come naturally to me. So this Friday, I had to do a belly breath because I needed to submit something and I needed to focus, and I was aware of the mental chatter. So what I'm saying is, with time, what will happen is your awareness will increase. That by itself is a good thing. Instead of yielding into the mental chatter, you're aware of it, so you know that you need to suppress it. So some people, it comes naturally after meditation, but for me, I'm still a work in progress. So I had to use my belly breath on Friday too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of tools and tricks in our arsenal now, right? So just apply all of them actually, right? So you're absolutely right. Belly breath is very, very effective of calming down the thoughts. Good. Anything else? I know we have been conducting the daily sessions, and there's a group that has been attending it regularly, right? So it was very heartening to know that in that group, right, we are seeing feedback about real progress, right? I think it is very, very important that we conduct these longer factor workshops once in a week, but Only these workshops are not going to make a dent unless these exercises are done at a daily level. That's similar to going to gym, right? You cannot just do like once in a week, right? You'll have to do it at least several times a week, right, to have some real impact in your life. For these exercises, I think you'll have to do it every day. Minimum commitment is 20 minutes a day. Maximum is twice 20 minutes a day, where you get really good impacts. Beyond that, it actually doesn't make the return is it is a law of returning diminishing returns, right? It won't be proportionate. But if you feel like doing it, it is fine. Gradually people start enjoying doing this, so it doesn't become a chore. Actually, it becomes something that they want to do. So if you want to do it, it is up to you.
Yeah,
so,
one point regarding that was that some people are not able to join the daily sessions because of, they don't have that time slot available to be able to join us. But Purnima, if you can share the MindGym YouTube channel with people, there are a bunch of meditations there. We use the 13-minute breath awareness. There's a 20-minute breath awareness. There's a thought-based meditation, the mantra meditation, and there's some chanting. Whatever you can use to, you can apply based on the time you have. Please use it on when you have the time. Even if you can't join us, because that daily practice, at least once a day, but preferably twice a day. 20 minutes will be really good. You'll see the benefits yourself.
I am all for not doing this, but I also want to ask other people if they want to join a WhatsApp group, if they have a question, and if they're not able to join the daily session that we have, would it be helpful, or is an email better? It's up to them. So we're asking here.
Yeah.
What time is it, the daily session?
It's 7 to 7:30. Monday to Friday evening.
Very good, thank you.
okay, good. So
Okay, so we'll resend those resources so you can, if you want, you can join daily, or you can meditate on your own, whatever works for you. Just keep up the practice. All right.
Okay, looks like we are at the end of the hour now. So thanks a lot for joining, and we will see you either Monday or next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.